good morning. Welcome to our English Maritime course. So, today will be our week 36, day 2. So, everyone, again, this is your instructor, Elaine. So, on our day 1, we discuss about the advanced listening skills in the maritime industry. So, we already tackled about how to become an effective listeners. So today, we will be continue our discussions and and it's all about the barriers to the listening during the operations. So barriers to effective listening at the sea are primarily the challenging environmental conditions because it includes the extreme noise from the engines and machinery, the harsh weather. So there are some other factors that include like the physical barriers, such it depends on the layout of the vessels. We also have the language and the cultural differences. So among the diverse crew and physiological barriers like the fatigue and seasickness. And it additionally here also the psychological barriers. So this one, it tackles about the stress and preoccupation with a task. So here, so I said earlier we categorize those barriers. So we have here the environmental and physical barriers. We also have the psychological barriers. We also have the physiological barriers. And lastly is about the language and the cultural barriers. So we will going to discuss this one by one. So first is about the environmental and physical barriers. So here it includes the noise interference. So it's all about the loud engine noise, the alarms, and the machinery that can make it difficult to hear and understand the spoken message or the speaker. We also have here the extreme weather. So the strong winds, the heavy rain, and the rough seas can both obscure the message and make it physically challenging to focus. So they all have impact for becoming an effective listening or a listeners. So under the physical and the environmental barriers is the vessel design. So the confined and often cultured space on a ship, it also can create the physical barriers that impede the clear communications. Another one is what we call the physiological barriers. So this one is about the fatigue and seasickness. So here, the long shifts and constant work at the sea, it can also lead to exhaustion. So reducing the person's capability or capacity to listen effectively. So the fatigue also contributes to have an effect on becoming an effective listeners, as well as the seasickness. So physical discomfort from the sea or the seasickness, it can be also significant distraction. So this one, by this, it making it hard to concentrate on the communication. So the next category or the next barrier is about the psychological barriers. So this one, it's about the stress. So the inherent risk and the pressure of the maritime life can induce some stress. So if you have stress, it will lead to the preoccupation and an in the inability to listen to others. So if you are stressed, it's giving you a hard time to focus also to the speaker. Distractions and the preoccupations is about the seafarer might be focused on a specific task or concerned about on the upcoming event. So they making them a mentally absent from the conversations. So if you are only focused on one thing or on a specific, if you have a specific task, then you cannot focus in other uh like the other conversation that you have. Under the psychological is also the emotional connection. So this is the listener's emotional state. So so it's all about the anger or fear. So this one, it can also affect their ability to interpret a message accurately. We also have here the last barriers that we have is about the language and the cultural. So the accent and the vocabulary. Crews are often come from diverse backgrounds. So they have every crew have a different backgrounds and differences in accent, vocabulary, and communication styles. So those differences also can lead to the misunderstandings. Another one is the perceptual differences. So this one, it vary the cultural backgrounds. So the cultural backgrounds can influence how individuals perceive and interpret the messages. So this one, it creating the barriers to shared understanding. So in these barriers, we can also include the, the gender barriers. So these barriers can arise from the stereotype ideas about how different genders communicate, or from neurological differences that might lead to varying the communication styles. Another barriers also, it can be the interpersonal barriers. So these barriers are related to the behavior and attitude of people exhibit in their interactions. So, for example, lack of confidence, playing games, or engaging in a behavior that shut down the communications. So, we can also add that for the barriers in the effective listening. So here we have here some five, what we call the five levels of listening. So again, the five level of the listening. So as you can see here, I have here the five levels. So we have here the ignoring, the level 1. And then we have the pretend listening, which is the level 2. The level 3 is what we call the selective listener. We also have here the level 4, which is the attentive listening. We also have the level 5, which is the empathetic listening. So I will discuss or explain this um, one by one. So these five levels. So first we have here is what we call the level 1, which is the ignoring. So at this level, you don't listen at all. So meaning on this, the level 1, you are not listening at all. So you don't listen at all and may even try to turn out the conversation. So your body language often reveals your disinterest and its level that should be avoided. So next one is the level 2. So the level 2 is what we call the pretend listening. So on this level, you may be use your eye contact and body language to show that you're engaged or you are some a bit interested and you are not truly processing what is being said. The another level that we have is the level 3. So 3 is what we call the selective listening. So on this level, you may only pay attention to the specific parts of the conversation that you are interested or you want to apply. So you going to or you are filtering out everything else. So you only focus. So selective listening is only focus on the part that which you are interested. So next is the level level 4. So this one is about the attentive listening. So this is the higher level where you pay full attention to the speaker and genuinely you try to understand their words and the messages. So you are now focused on the what are the speakers are trying to say. So you pay full attention. So that's what we call the attentive listening. So the last level that we have is what we call the empathetic listening. The empathetic listening is the highest level where you not just uh, listen to the words, but also to understand the feeling and the intent behind the message. So you are now analyzing the message. So by this allows for the deeper connection and a better understanding of the speaker's perspective. So you are now understanding even the emotion of what the speaker is trying to implicate or trying to say. So again, the five levels of listening. So we have the ignoring, which where you totally didn't listen or you not focus on the speaker. We also have the pretend listening. So you only use the eye contact and the body language. We also have the third level is what we call the selective listening. So this level only focus on the topic you are interested. Oh. And then the level 4 is what we call the attentive listening. So you just full attention. So you are listening fully to the speaker and you just understand the words or the speaker what they're trying to say. And then the last level is what we call the empathetic listening. So this one, you're not just understanding, but also communicating your emotions to the speaker. So now, if we have what we call the five levels of listening, now we also have what we call the five stages of listening. So, what are the differences? So, the five stages of listening are the process. So, these are the process of receiving, understanding, remembering, evaluating, and responding. So, this active process begins with the receiving auditory signals and involves the understanding the message's meaning, remembering the information, judging its content, and providing some feedback or response. So it's different. So the five stages are different from the five levels of the listening. Okay? So here, the first stage is what we call the receiving. So receiving, this is the initial stage where you can take in the auditory information and identify the specific sounds. So this one, it involves on the focusing your attention on the speaker and the sounds they are producing. So you just uh, basically receiving all the messages. So next is The second stage is the understanding. So, understanding. In this stage, you interpret the information you've received. So, assigning the meaning to the sounds and the words within their context. So, it's about grasping all the message. So, you just simply understand what is the message is all about. So, the third stage is what we call remembering. So, on this stage, it involves the retaining the information from the message. So whether through the repetitions or the associations, just to recall it later. So you're just remembering the message so you can able to recall for the time you needed or you need that information. So the next stage that we have is what we call the evaluating. So this is the fourth stage. So here you can make judgment. It's not totally judge, it's like evaluating the speaker's message. So this also can involve analyzing the information, determining its credibility, and assessing its significance. So simply you're just evaluating. Or we can say, for more your understanding, is analyzing the information. So the last stage is about the responding. So the final stage, it involves the providing some feedbacks or response to the speaker. So this one, it demonstrates your engagement with the message and can be in the form of a verbal response, or it can be a non-verbal cue or other feedback that shows you how have to process the information. So again, the five stages of listening. So we have the receiving, understanding, remembering. The fourth stage is the evaluating or analyzing. And lastly is the responding. So this one, we're going now to move on the active listening techniques. So here, the active listening techniques. So this one, techniques, it involves completely on these speakers by putting aside the distractions. So it can be also using a non-verbal cues like the eye contact and the open body language to show engagement and verbally acknowledging their message through the back channel cues. So to be an active listening, the other technique that can be used is to demonstrate some engagement. So be present and be engaged. So eliminate those distractions. Put away your phone, close irrelevant tabs, and choose a quiet environment to give the speaker your full attention. So you will not having any more distraction. You only focus on what the speaker is trying to say. Maintain the eye contact. So look at the speaker to show you are interested and engage on the conversation. So by this, you're going to show you are present and engage by looking at the speaker and the keeping your body language open. So as I said earlier, use positive language or the body language. So lean forward, orient your body towards to the speaker, and nod occasionally to convey you are attentive. So by this, so if the speaker, you are nodding to the speaker on what are the speakers trying to say, it gives the signal to the speaker that you are attentive of this conversation that you have. So offer the verbal cues like use brief affirmation like I hear you. You can say the word also that uh-huh and also make sense. So those verbal cues, it shows you that you are following on the or you can follow on your conversations. So next, show you understand. So by this, how do we going to apply this? So paraphrase and reflect. Rephrase what the speaker said in your own words to confirm you understanding and showing you are listening. So, use some phrases like, so what are you saying? Or like that, something. Just to make sure you are um understanding on the what are the speakers are trying to say. Next is to summarize. So periodically summarize the main point of the conversation just to ensure the accurate comprehension. So it's just reiterate what you have heard on your own words. Another one is you need to ask a open-minded or open-ended questions. So you need to encourage the speaker to provide more details by asking questions that can be answered with a simple yes or no. Okay, as we continue, understand without judgment. So by this, withhold the judgment. Set aside your own biases and belief so you can understand the speaker's perspective without some prejudice. Observe some nonverbal cues. This one, you're going to pay attention to the speaker's body language, tone, and the facial expressions. This one is going to gain a deeper understanding to the emotional state and the attitude. So next is the listen for the content and the emotions. So you need to focus not only on what is said, but also in the underlying feelings and the speaker's experience. So by this, you're going it help you also making you a better active listeners. Next is respond thoughtfully. So listen fully before responding. So, so you should not interrupt or plan your rebuttal while the other person is still speaking. So you should let the others or someone to speak up before your turn to your anything you wanted to say. And then next is for the ask for the clarification. So if anything is unclear, do not hesitate to ask. So what do you mean when you say something? So you should ask. This is to prevent the miscommunication. So I have here some key points to remember. The other one is key point is something you can remember. First is the clarifying. So asking open-ended question to get more details. Just to clarify. So for example, you can say, "Can you tell me more about that?" And then continue what is your topic is all about. The next one is what we call paraphrasing. So this one is restating what the speaker said in your own words to confirm you understand. Next is summarizing. So, briefly recapping a longer conversation to ensure both parties are aligned. So, another one is the nonverbal cues. Leaning in or nodding and maintaining the eye contact to show you are engaged or you are following along the conversation. So next is all about listening to the unspoken. So by this, listening to the unspoken in the maritime context. This means paying attention to a nonverbal cues and ensuring the clear communication to prevent the accident and promote safety. So especially in the multinational cruise and during the critical operations. again, apology for the delay. So understanding the unspoken message. So here you can have here, this involves noticing the subtle body language and sign stress. So which can crucial during the difficult of conversation or when someone needs to express an unspoken concern. So I have here some active listening. So this is the leaders and the crew members should practice active listening techniques like the nodding or using a phrase like tell me more to ensure and understand the show engagement according to the maritime well-being, which provides resources and seafarers. Now, so maritime English and closed loop communication. So the use of the maritime English and techniques such as the closed loop communication, where instructions are repeated and confirmed. These are the vital and clarity and understanding between crew members from diverse background. So next is about the collective insight and the safety culture. So this one Leaders must foster a culture of trust and empowerment where individuals feel a comfortable speaking up and about potential issues. So, to leverage the collective expertise and prevent the accident. Next is recognizing the human factors. It was so fatigue, lack of trainings, and poor communications. So these are the significant human factors that can lead to accidents. So listening to the unspoken helps in identifying this issue early. Historical and emotional context. So beyond the technical communication, the seafarers often carry the unspoken anxieties. So it's all about the depth and the danger of the sea. So which can be conveyed through the stories and the some other superstitions. So I have here some key point to remember. So again, the body language. Notice some posture, facial expressions, and hand gestures. So are they consistent with these words being spoken? Next is the tone and the pitch. So pay attention to show how a person is speaking. So the calm voice may hide stress, or a raised voice may indicate an urgent need. So you have to analyze, it depends on the tone or the pitch of the speaker. So silences. So the pause can be also an important as a word. So respect silence. So they often indicate a person is thinking or trying to express something difficult. So again, we have here from our topic, we have you have to recognize the barriers, listen actively, Use your tools and listen to the whole person. So we have here some recap. So the first question. So what barriers that occurs when you only listen for what you are already agreed with or ignoring new or contradictory information? So we have here fatigue. We also have here noise environment. We have the confirmation bias or the accent and jargon. So it is the confirmation bias. So next, you are nodding and saying, uh-huh, while checking email. So, which listening level you are demonstrating? Is it level 4, attentive listening? Is it level 3, selective listening? Or is it 2, level 2, pretend listening? It can be also level 5, empathetic listening. So what is that, or what level is that when you are nodding? So this is level 2. So you're just pretending to pretend listeners. So next question. The crew member reports. So the pump failed again. Your response is, so, to confirm the pump is currently non-operational. So what technique is this? Clarifying, paraphrasing, summarizing, or ignoring? So this one is about paraphrasing. So you rephrase the what are the other speaker is trying to say. So next, colleague reports an error in a steady, cheerful voice, but their hands are trembling. So what should you focus on? Is it the discrepancy between the verbal and nonverbal cues, the trembling, the cheerful voice, or is it can be the literal words only, or the immediately assuming they are lying? So this is the you need to focus on the discrepancy between the verbal and the nonverbal cues. Oh. So that's it. So we already
I already discussed you guys about the active listening, some barriers and some techniques, stages and levels of the active listening. So I hope you learned something for today. This topic's not it will help you a lot for becoming a better listener. So again, thank you for your attending this English Maritime course, and this is your instructor Elaine. So as we meet again on our next discussion.